Hello and a very good evening on this Thursday night. A bit of a time slot change just for this week, and welcome to the Netball show. And you're going to look to my left and go, wow, who is this? It's not Trish Butters. No, it's not Trish. Trish is unfortunate, but fortunately having some time away over the next few weeks, obviously with some family things occurring in her life, and we wish her and Gary and the family all the very best. But I've got a nice little replacement. Kate Lindsay's going to join us. Kate, thanks for jumping on, buddy. And I do know that you are one of our number one viewers each and every week. You know our mannerisms.
I do.
You do love netball. It's great to have you on, buddy.
Thank you. Yeah, it's great to be here, Hilly, and wonderful to fill in for Trish and send my best regards to her as well. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to filling in, and I watch every week and love the show. So
you're a nuffy for netball, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. I do. I love netball. I've loved it for a very long time, and love this competition. So I'll happily sit here and talk with you. All things netball.
I love it. Fantastic. Hey, interesting round this week. Obviously, it's round number 4, but it's the start of the split round. So round 4 is going to go over 3 weeks. We've already had the Koroit South Warrnambool game on Good Friday. So obviously Irish Festival this week. So the Saints and the Roosters will have the week off. This week we've got 2 games. We've got North Warrnambool taking on Cobden at Bushfield and Camperdown hosting the Warrnambool Blues at the Lura Oval. Then next week will be the conclusion of round 4, which will see Port Fairy taking on the Hamilton Kangaroos. And then the Portland Tigers taking on Terang Mortlake up at Ridley Recreation Reserve. So Hampton League Netball split over 3 weeks for round 4, which is fantastic. I love it how they've sort of catered for, Portland and Hamilton have had Anzac Day on Tuesday. The Roosters and Koroit who played on Good Friday. It's a good initiative and, really supporting the clubs. One team that's going to have the week off this week is the Port Fairy Seagulls, but I know they're going to be at training tonight, going through their paces. And joining us live from Port Fairy is their coach, Alana Edwards. Alana, thanks for jumping on this Thursday night. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. No worries.
Hey, Alana, obviously your first season as Open Division coach. How have you sort of seen things in the first 3 weeks of netball for the Port Fairy Seagulls?
There's been a lot of moving around, so we haven't quite settled just yet. So what I'll be looking in the next few weeks to try and create some consistency through the team. And I'm not usually a big fan of mixing up the positions so much, but we've just needed to do a bit of sort of searching to see what combinations work the best and what we can do with the girls moving forward.
Absolutely. And Alana, I saw your game against Koroit, and I was impressed with a couple of your young kids that came on in the fourth quarter. We had Poppy Myers and Elsie Adams. I'm curious as to how you get the balance right between giving these kids an opportunity at the senior level, but also ensuring that you have enough support around them with the experienced players that you do have at Port Fairy.
Very difficult. So it's really an ongoing conversation amongst the coaches group. Poppy probably won't be available to us too much with her commitments with the Mermaids, but Elsie Adams has certainly started magnificently. We've got to be really mindful that they are a lot of young, inexperienced kids. Even, Tessa Allen and Tilly are only very young. So, we're still sort of having conversations around how we can work things and find a good balance.
Absolutely.
So what's sort of been the concentration from a coaching point of view in regards, I guess, you look at the results and, there's been a couple of, bigger margins, Alana, but I guess, are you looking at the score, are you looking at just the process and the structure and the learnings that you're trying to give those girls?
We're not looking at the score at the moment. That will come though. So at the moment, we're just focusing on small things. And last week, I think playing against Koroit, it was a very different side that took the court compared to the previous weeks. So the girls are already showing that they can adapt and improve.
And just on that, Hilly touched on that there have been a couple of, bigger losses. How do you continue to keep the girls motivated and, to turn up every week with a positive attitude and outlook on, what the season is and how it's going to unfold for your team?
Communication. So we've had a few conversations, but last week before we took the court, we all got together beside the river and went through some sporting affirmations. So I think I'm just going to need to really sort of push the mindfulness side of things this season as well. So which is which all the other coaches are very much on board with and understand the importance of that. So throw in a few fun things, but certainly not lose sight of the bigger picture.
And I think too, Alana, and I love what you say there, that positive culture, that positive environment is really, really important. And I think too, the Seagulls, while they might not get the results this year, I think, in future years, it's going to be really beneficial. And hopefully we can keep some of these kids over the next couple of years and they can be part of the next, successful journey for the Seagulls. And I think that's the exciting thing.
Yes, for sure. And making sure that they're enjoying the club environment off the court as well is really important as well. So it's a really great bunch of girls. So I've been very lucky to start my journey with them, really.
And obviously having those teachings, I think, that's the best thing too. The experience that you've got over your journey, playing and coaching and so forth, and to give that to the kids and as well, that must be pretty satisfying as well. During the early parts of this year, and obviously as the year goes on, I think you're going to, you'll have that big smile on your face thinking, I'm glad I've seen a Poppy Myers do this because, we worked on it, or an Elsie Adams has really improved because we've worked on that. I think, there's so much upside to your role this year.
Yeah, and that's one of the, I suppose, the big things about what I love about coaching, really, is seeing that improvement and seeing what you've been teaching getting executed well on the court as well. So
and the girls are looking fit, and I know that's probably due to the fact that of your background and where you sort of lie now in terms of a career. But I liked that perhaps that it was the margin blew out a little bit against Croy, but I thought fitness wise your girls were able to run it out, so that has to be promising signs 4 rounds in.
Definitely. So just still working on some strength base, and look, the girls put in a really good pre-season too. So I took a little bit of a different approach at the start, but to what they probably have usually had, but I think it'll pay off in the end.
Hey Alana, do you give the girls a hard night tonight, or do you take it a little bit, a little easier because they've got the week off? Obviously, playing in a fortnight's time against the Hamilton Kangaroos. What do you do training-wise tonight?
Oh no, they're training hard.
I love it. Get them fired up. I love it. Hey, on that note, we better let you go because we know training's only a very short time away. Thanks for jumping on, Alana. We wish you all the very best of luck. I really am taking a keen interest in you guys this year because I think there's some really good scope for the seasons to come. Yeah, no, great. It's going to be a good season, I think. Good luck. Thanks very much for having me. Alana Edwards, the coach of the Port Fairy Seagulls, and I love that. She's open and honest. We're not looking at the score, and I guess winning and losing's one thing, a part of it, but just developing the kids. They've got some really nice kids, and I think hopefully, as I said in one of the questioning, if we can keep those kids over the next few seasons, that might be part of the next Port Fairy journey. That's getting back into that top 5 and winning games and playing finals. Yeah, and they do have some good kids there, and they've always had some good kids. I think they were lucky to gain a couple that were potentially going to uni this year, able to get them back. So their side, it is a young side, but I like their tenacity, their ability to obviously learn and absorb anything that Alana's saying to them. And I hope a win is around the corner because it was a tough season for them last year. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, let's look at our round 3 highlights. We only got the 3 games this week, and obviously one of those was South Warrnambool taking on the Warrnambool Blues, and the Roosters getting the job done there, 62-27. It was actually a bigger margin than what I thought it might have been, considering how well the Blues have gone. Yeah, and I think the Blues have obviously been tipped as one of the big improvers this year. They've had a great off-season recruiting, Belle Baker and Meg Carlin, and South had a 22-5 first quarter, which set them up beautifully for the rest of the game. And chatting to Will was away for the game. Annie Blackburn was away, who's arguably the best goal attack we have in the league. So to push out to a margin like that is incredible. So I think for Warrnambool, they've obviously still trying to finalise where their players
play best and what their best matchups are. And I think once they get that right, they're going to be a very good side.
Did I see Eliza Dwyer's name in the goal shooting circle for the Roosters? Like, jeebus.
Got good depth.
If Annie Blackburn doesn't play, or even Holly Phillips, like chucking Eliza Dwyer in.
Correct.
Wow.
And you've also got Chelsea Quinn, who's playing in Div 1 also, so good side.
Hey, the Bloods took on the Cobden Bombers, and the Bombers got the job done here really nicely. 75-50, a high-scoring game.
Absolutely, yeah, it was. And I think I note down Emily Finch shot 57 goals.
She's in fine nick at the moment, Finchy.
Incredible form. She looks stronger. She looks fitter than last year. And to shoot that volume of goals against a side that I think are going to be one of the big improvers of the year is fantastic.
And I think to get Ebony Knights back is a big thing for them in the goal circle. I think she shot 25, and
yes.
She'll be finding a way back into it. But I just feel like their system seems a little bit more smoother this year. Obviously, new coach and a few new players in there. Holly Castledyne's into that lineup, and
they've got Joe Glennon back.
They've got a few players back.
Yeah.
Emma Lucas back from injury, so yeah, things are looking good for the Bloods.
And Shani talks with so much passion. I love hearing her. She's so motivated to get them up the ladder and get them improving each week. So I think they'll have a fantastic season under her.
Yeah, they're playing well. And then you look at Cobden. Geez, they're playing some nice netball. They're
incredible.
A good side. Yeah.
Sophie Hinkley doesn't look like she stepped away from the netball court.
No, she's a gun. Hey, and the other game we've got vision for is the Camperdown Magpies taking on the North Warrnambool Eagles. A big margin here for the Eagles, a nice win, but I'm impressed by 31 goals from a really young Camperdown side who are up against a pretty good defensive unit. They play a good defensive brand, the North Warrnambool Eagles.
Yeah, agreed. And they've obviously done some recruiting in the off-season. They've got Matilda Sewell and Maisie Barlow in to cover the losses of Geordie Billings and Rachel Ryan. And, we played them in a practice match and they're extremely impressive. Maddie Vardy through the middle. They've got Tani Porter, who, is shooting with Sky Billings, who shot 43 goals. So incredible. But I love what Camperdown are doing, and I love the article in the paper yesterday. I love that they're so determined to get a team on the court every week. And to see Emily Stevens playing with her daughter Piper, isn't that wonderful for Camperdown?
Yeah, absolutely. It pulls at the old heart change, I
reckon,
a little bit, because I just think, Emily, wasn't overly keen. I know speaking to her early in the year, I'm not real keen having to chuck the netball shoes back on, but I think, for the success of the club and for the development of their juniors, you don't want to throw them to the wolves.
Agreed.
You need that experience from around them, and just have Em on there. If she might be only playing a half, or whatever it may be, is better than not having any experience at all. And yeah, great Camperdown person. And
it's incredible, and it's so great to have her and Megan back in, involved in the league, and both incredible coaches and players in their own right, and to have them leading a young Camperdown side, I think is. It sets Camperdown up for a really beautiful future.
Good humans.
Yeah, great
more
people.
Good humans.
Yeah.
Hey, and the other two games we haven't got highlights for, but Port Fairy took on Koroit, and obviously your affiliation with Koroit. Strong win, 72-26. Give us a little bit of an insight of the game.
Yeah, the margin was obviously, it blew out in the end. I think we had a really good first quarter. As I mentioned to Alana, they've got some good kids. They put them both on in the last quarter, Poppy and Elsie, and they were really good. It's just getting that support around them, which is going to come in years to come. Our defensive end, so Casey Barling, Layla Monk and Millie Jennings were stifling in their pressure, and a really good win. I spoke to Kerry after the game, and she was really happy with how they went. And I think it's Koroit is probably had a little bit of change in the off season, but they're working really well together again.
Yeah, I think it's the best comp we've got for some time, because I just think the evenness. And then the last game, Portland take on the Hamilton Kangaroos. The Kangaroos got the job done by 40. They're starting well, and I declared at the start of the year they're a top 5 side.
Yeah.
They're playing some good netball, but in saying that, Portland have shown some good signs in the games they've played as well. They only lose by 4. Heidi Jones, the Anzac Day medal winner. There's a lot of upside about them, and I think they've got a really good coach at their helm as well. Alan Zoynet. She's a netball star. She's a basketball star, and a great teacher of kids and that as well. And they've got a nice mix there at the Tigers as well.
They do, yeah. Actually, I went over to watch the game with Will and met Kerry Jennings
over
there.
You are nuffy, aren't you?
Yeah,
you love it.
Well, Will wanted to go, and I said I'd tag along. But I think we were all a little bit shocked with the scoreline, given that Hamilton had drawn with Cobden.
And beat North Warrnambool.
Correct. They've got a couple of good scalps. I think for Portland, their goal shooter went down within probably the first 90 seconds, which predominantly meant that Heidi Jones was taking a load of goals all day, and they had to make a few changes. So I think, considering it was a fantastic game, Hamilton probably could have pulled away at a couple of times, and Portland probably, made some mistakes in critical moments to bring the margin back. So it was a hotly contested physical game, and it was a good one to watch.
Yeah, I love it. So that's round 3. Some cracking games, and it just shows you how close the season's going to be. And there's a couple of games coming up in the few weeks I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to seeing what a Camperdown Port Fairy game looks
Agreed.
like. Obviously, two sides that are young and are going to really find their way as the season progresses.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that game. And then obviously, I think from anywhere, Hamilton, Portland, South, Warrnambool, North, Terang, Cobden, Koroit, they're all fighting for the top 5.
Yeah,
which is,
it's tight at the top of the ladder.
Yeah,
it is. It's going to be. We're 4 rounds in, and we're already seeing that come the end of the season, there's going to be real challenges for that top 5. And I think also how that top 3 looks. I think I don't really see, apart from Cobden, probably anyone really putting pressure on South. They're incredible this year and have taken it up a notch. But I think from 3rd to 6th.
Yeah.
7th, you've got a few teams that are trying to get in there.
Yeah, and that's I sort of don't want to go jumping too far ahead, but I look forward to the last couple of rounds, just on what the scenarios can be. And I think it's going to be one where we're going to be getting out the calculators and we'll be getting out the chart and going, okay, this happens and this happens.
Yeah.
It's just going to be so much.
Working through a lot of different scenarios.
Yeah, I love it. But I think it just makes for what a great season it's going to be. It's been a great 3 rounds thus far. This weekend, Kate, we've got 2 games, as we said. Northbourne will take on Cobden's, our Hampton League Live match of the day, and we'll give you updates throughout the day, all thanks to Warrnambool Toyota on that game. How do you see that one progressing? Obviously, an experienced North Warrnambool outfit that have got some really key critical players. Maddie Vardy, we talk about Maisie Barlow. Looking forward to going over and seeing how Maisie goes, hearing great things. And then, Sky Belling's probably, I reckon it's an interesting one because, she played great netball last year, taking the coaching load off her shoulders, and she goes out and plays. We might see her really flourish this year.
Yeah, I think, and they are a really good side. Having Maddie run the centre, they've got Sky in goals, and then they've got Maisie in defence. Like they've got some fantastic players in each third that are not only providing experience, but are really good players in terms of being able to bring others up around them. Yep. So I think having those 3 positions on the court is really important. I agree with you. I think Sky shooting over 40 goals in a game just proves that she has probably come up another level since last time. And I'm actually going to head out too because I think it'll be a cracker game. Cobden are amazing. We watched them round 1, and having Sophie Hinkley back in that side, the versatility that she provides them, and also the recruiting they've done in the off season, they could just throw any positions and still have the same effect. Yeah. So it'll be a good game, I think. She's
a bit of a Rolls Royce, isn't she?
Yeah,
Sophie Hinkley. She's just a beautiful player and smart, and she's just great coach as well. And she's got a lot of big load on her shoulders too, because she's got some players that could be easily playing Open Division, probably in Division 1, and getting that balance and getting her combinations right, because there's so much talent in that side.
There is.
Who do you like in this one, North or Cobden?
I'll pick Cobden. I think I'll say Cobden by 7.
Okay, yeah, I think
what
the
Bombers.
I'm thinking the Bombers.
Yeah.
I reckon it'll be single figures.
Yeah.
I reckon the Eagles will fight pretty hard. They love the big occasion, the Eagles, and knowing Maddie Vardy, she loves stepping up to the plate. Yeah,
absolutely.
She's a gun. And the last game is Camperdown taking on the Warrnambool Blues at the Lura Oval. No doubt the Blues will want to see some improvement. Obviously, probably a little bit disappointing, I guess, their scoreline. But I guess, as you said, finding their combinations. Obviously some new faces in there, Meg Carlin, Belle Baker, and the like. But just saying that, Camperdown, they'll just go in with a nothing to lose attitude. They'll just try and improve and keep improving each quarter by quarter.
And I think the thing is, when you come up against Camperdown, because they're essentially a brand new side, the opposition doesn't know too much about them.
Yeah.
So, you look at someone like Warrnambool, they've got so much experience. Camperdown don't, but what they lack in experience, they probably make up for in their ability to really get out there and perform for their club.
And enthusiasm.
Correct. Yeah. So, I think I think it's going to be a good game. I do think Warrnambool will win, and I think it may give them an opportunity to, start to solidify some people in positions and, work through what those rotations look like. But I think Camperdown will give them a great run.
Yeah, I hope so. I think the Blues get the job done as well. So they're the only 2 games. And the next week, our 2 games will be Hamilton taking on Port Fairy and also Terang Mortlock hosting the Portland Tigers. Before we leave, we must thank our all-important sponsors, We've got Frolic Lane. I know you love venturing there on a Friday night there, Kate, and causing some havoc. They're going to be busy next week with the Warrnambool Ray Racing Carnival. So great sponsors of the league. Miss Kit, I'll tell you what, Jared and the team, they're going to be just pumping through spray tans and makeup and everything next week for the May Racing Carnival. Obviously, our major sponsors, McDonald's, Power Core, Southwest TAFE and SunGold Fresh Local Milk, all great sponsors. Chittick's Pies, Pit Stop Menswear, great supporters of the league, and we can't have a league running as well as it is without these great sponsors. Hey, now tell me, are you back on board? You get the gig again for Open Division Assistant Coach for the Association Championships?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Down with Will again, and had a fantastic time with him last year. He's an incredible coach and such an asset to the league to have someone like him. And we are friends outside of netball, and it's wonderful that I can go up there and learn from him. I love the way that he really brings players on board with the vision and what he's trying to achieve. And he's a fantastic coach. So I'm stoked to be back with him again.
Oh, love it! Fantastic. Yeah. Hey. Great debut.
Thank you.
I reckon Trish will be she'll be doing a very
she'll be shaking at home.
She'll be critique going, hey, she's pretty good, this Kate Lindsay. I really appreciate it, and as I said, we do wish Trish and Gaz and all the best, the family the best. Just some family time over the next few weeks, and we'll get me offside. Kate Lindsay back in for another few weeks of netball action. Enjoy the netball this weekend. The two games: Cobden taking on North Warrnambool and Camperdown taking on the Warrnambool Blues. We look forward to seeing you guys back next Wednesday night.